Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 10 a.m. meditation, the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. We're glad you could join us today, or if you're hearing this later. I just invite you to get comfortable right where you are. Breathing in deeply and exhaling. Allowing the breath to relax your body and mind. Feel this inflow of life. Feel your breath fill you up. Recognize that each breath is a gift of life. Each breath is spirit fulfilling itself, renewing itself as you. Each breath is a conscious opportunity to go deeper within, connecting with your divinity. Imagine that in each breath you are breathing in light. Radiant, beautiful light. You can pick the color. Let it be radiant, easy, healing. Let this breath, this light fill you up. Sense its beingness as your beingness. Feel its warmth. Feel its longing to know itself as you. This light fills up your whole body. It is sacred. You are sacred. I invite you to contemplate these words from a poem by Jan Richardson from her post on Earth School Harmony. As I read these words, remember to breathe in the light. The poem is called How the Light Comes. I cannot tell you how the light comes. What I know is that it is more ancient than imagining. That it travels across an astounding expanse to reach us. That it loves searching out what is hidden, what is lost, what is forgotten, or in peril, or in pain. That it has a fondness for the body, for finding its way towards flesh. For tracing the edges of form, for shining forth through the eye, the hand, the heart. I cannot tell you how the light comes. But it does. That it will. That it works its way into the deepest dark that enfolds you. Though it may seem long ages in coming, or arrive in a shape you did not foresee. And so, may we this day turn ourselves towards it. May we lift our faces to let it find us. May we bend our bodies to follow the arc it makes. May we open and open more. And open still. To the blessed light that comes. I invite you to take this feeling, to breathe this light into the sacred space right now in this moment, into this silence. Breathing in the light. Breathing in this life. breathing in to this sacred moment, breathing into this only moment, this now moment. You recognize and connect to the divine, knowing there's only one power, one source, and one presence that is breathing itself through us. That it is the light in us, that we radiate this divine energy. That we are more ancient than imagining. We breathe in the magnificence of knowing our divine, delightful connection. Knowing that we are extraordinary spiritual beings, having spiritual experience in this earth plane, in this earth place. And simply everything conspires to show us the magnificence that surrounds us. The magnificence of the light being breathed in through us. Our conscious awakening, connectedness to it. How amazing this is. How astounding and magnificent this is. Giving gratitude for this day, giving gratitude for the holy, sacred space that we are in, being in alignment and the divine flow and guidance of life, feeling and seeing this unfold as our life, as our joy, as our beauty, as our truth. We are always connected. We are always connected through the divine flow of energy and light. And we are grateful for this time today to imagine it, to experience it, to give ourselves that flow, that playfulness, that joyfulness. Being so grateful for this. Just honoring ourselves. Breathing in. And releasing this treatment, releasing these ideas, knowing that we're planting seeds for fulfillment and experiencing love and light, and that we trust and we surrender it into the one. There's only one. We surrender this in. And we know that the highest and best is unfolding and made manifest in our life now. We accept this. We trust this, we surrender into this, knowing, recognizing that it is done unto us as we believe that we are powerful, magnificent, spiritual beings here now on purpose. And it is good, it is so good. We name it and we claim it and we declare it to be so. And so it is.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here with you this morning. Thank you so much for that meditation. Sue, it was beautiful. We're going to continue those deep breaths and connecting to something higher and greater than ourselves. So I invite you to breathe with me. Here we go. I don't want to give words to this. Anything you have to interpret will only eclipse the heart of it. I just just wanna send it in sound with a wavelength clarity. Ooh, nothing I could ever say will resonate the same way that this love does in me. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Somewhere in the beat of your heart, there I am. Somewhere underneath all the war-torn believing, and there you have always been. It's something like a melody, it's something like a song, and it sings itself and it's never wrong. Oh, everywhere it plays for me, it's always on repeat. It's the love song of everything. Inhale, exhale, breathe. It's not just there in my body, it's not just there in the thoughts that I think. It's there in the roots, in the skies and the seas, in the eyelids, the irises, the wind and the wings, in the will be, the ever was, the reason and the just because. I am the song that I sing. Inhale, exhale,
Good, happy morning Sunday. How was that for you? Good, happy morning Sunday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. In order to help with our method of recording our service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Sounds like a recording. Okay, I crack myself up sometimes. It's okay. It's fine. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Our speaker today is our senior minister, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician is Jesse Powers. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Sue Monaghan. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Dedra Wilcher and Renuka Purimetla. And Reverend Dr. Ray also was the interpreter for the pre-service meditation. Thank you. Holding things down, working behind the scenes is Jim Lefter. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Before Sue grounds us in prayer, let me share this about her. Sue has been part of this teaching since 2004. She has been a practitioner since 2013. Sue believes that we are the point of power in our lives, that our essence is spiritual and it is good. It is her desire to let Spirit reveal this wonderful truth through her. Sue is committed to CSLGB's vision that we are demonstrating a world that works for all, one life-affirming thought, word, feeling, deed, and one human interaction at a time. We all make a difference in other people's lives. May our light shine for all to see.
Good morning, CSL Greater Baltimore. So just settling into this moment, this sacred moment, knowing that there's one life, that life is divine, and it lives and moves and has its being through each one of us. Being grateful to be part of the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community that welcomes all in. So grateful for this day, to share this message, this music, the interpretation, to just feel that, be part of that energy flow and let it be good. So we open our hearts today, we open our minds, and we just take in the goodness that is there for us, that is always with us. Releasing and letting go, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sue. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the world's religions. One tree, many branches. One mountain, many paths. One world, many religions and spiritual traditions. With the lighting of these candles on the first Sunday of each month, we not only honor each person on their select path, but we also bless them and recognize the light, the love, and the life-affirming nature of spirit as it shows itself in each path, in each practice, and in each person. I have some announcements for you. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. On the first and third Monday nights, hang out with the Sacred Contracts Book Club hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. On Wednesday night, the Science of Mind textbook Exploration Group facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And closing things out on Thursday night is the study group facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting cslgreaterbaltimore.org or .com. Interested in a community camping trip? A CSLGB getaway? Well, Su Italiano is checking to see if there is any interest. If so, send her an email to suitaliano@gmail.com. Interested in serving on the fundraising committee? Chair Renuka Purimetla would like you to join her to strategize the most effective ways to manifest funding. To get more information, meeting dates, and time, and join the committee, email renukapermetla@gmail.com. Here at CSLGB, where every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday, did you know it is also a become a member Sunday? Did you know that? That's right. Every Sunday is a great day to choose this as your spiritual community, your spiritual family. The first step is to take the discovery class, which is offered online and can be taken at any time. For more information on how to become a member or what comes after the discovery class, visit the website or send an email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Welcome home. The CSLGB Ministry of Education has upcoming classes. Foundations of Science of Mind, facilitated by practitioner Dr. Ronnie Ellington. One more person is needed for the Foundations class to run. If you are interested in taking Foundations, contact Sue Monaghan. Conversations about race, racial literacy as a spiritual practice. Every second Wednesday of the month, 7 to 9 p.m. A year-long journey of experiencing racial literacy as a spiritual practice. As Centers for Spiritual Living holds the vision of creating a world that works for everyone as our beacon, our spiritual work is in examining our thinking, both our personal thoughts and those passed on to us in a collective, socialized manner. The required reading is A Race is a Nice Thing to Have, a guide to being a white person or understanding the white persons in your life by Janet E. Helms. Love offerings gratefully accepted. For more information, contact practitioner Rebecca Arena Beal from CSL Columbia at 410-340-4805 or Bella358@comcast.net. Exploring the Declaration of Principles of Science of Mind and Spirit, facilitated by Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Dates and times coming soon. The financial investment for this class is a love offering. If interested in attending, contact me. Yep, that's right. At tracyrhymes@gmail.com. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website, CSLGreaterBaltimore.org or .com, to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. Would you like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray? All right. If so, type JOIN to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You'll be glad you did. You will. Ask Sue. I'm trying to be serious here. I'm not working. Sue will tell you. Yes, because Sue gets excited. All right. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. For those of you visiting us for the first time and to serve as a reminder for others, on the count of 3, we shout, prayer works. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Woo! Yes. All right. We, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Ooh, all right. Our musician today, Jesse Powers, is a self-proclaimed conscious indie pop musician based in Columbus, Ohio. Her perspective and penetrating lyricism, tumbling vocal stylings, and powerhouse pop melodies combine to create a unique but oh so catchy sound that entertains and profoundly awakens those who listen. Her music has been described as real, raw, down to earth, and like emotional surgery. Oh, her debut full-length album, Begin, was released in November 2017. Her second full-length album, To Remember, check this out, was released August 11th, 2021. Woo! Brand new. Last week. Drop it. Okay, okay. All right, now, for booking inquiries, email info@jessiepowersmusic.com or go to jessiepowersmusic.com. I give you Jessie Powers.
Thank you so much, Tracy. That was amazing. Thank you. So, we're talking a little bit about sparking imagination today. And if any of you were here last time that I was here, you know that I can get a little silly. And I'm going to ask you to get silly too, because silliness is the precursor to imagination, I think. I don't know, maybe Reverend Raymont will tell us something different, but I don't know, I think we're probably on the same page. So, we're going to celebrate being alive. And at the end, I'm going to ask you to get weird. And since you're at home, I know you can do it. No pressure, no one's around, okay? Here we go. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Sing with it. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Go to your window and sing it. I woke up this morning joyful as can be. Really loud. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Grateful. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Feeling grateful. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. I woke up this morning grateful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. 'Cause I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. I love it. I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Okay, here we go. This is where we get silly. We're gonna wake up and be playful as can be. Okay, so feel free, you're at home, make some weird animal noises. We can do some howling or some meowing or some little weird snake sounds, or you can sing like an opera singer, or you can pretend you're from Great Britain, or any of those things. Okay, so here we go. Playful. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. I woke up this morning playful as can be. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Keep going. I woke up this morning playful as can be. I guess whatever. That's how I spend my day and that's how I'll sleep. Yeah. I woke up this morning playful as can be. Meow, 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 meow. 'Cause I love being alive. That was my seal. I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my life. Oh, I love being alive. Oh, it's the greatest thing about my life. Like Randy Newman, I love being alive. It's the greatest thing of meow, meow, meow. 2 more times. I love being alive. It's the greatest thing about my whole life. I love being alive. Meow, 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 meow.
Okay, you're off camera now. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Woo. That is my all-time favorite. I cannot listen to that song without laughing and feeling alive. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. As always. Woo. Loved it. And we were off mic this time. All right, moving along. Come on, Tracy, get it together. Sue will now come and lead us in a spiritual practice.
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh, thank you. That was wonderful and amazing. I love laughing. Fills my whole body up. So we're going to just do our meditation this morning based on the theme for the month, a pause for guidance. So let's just start our meditation by lowering our gaze or closing our eyes, using our breath to relax any tension in our body. Releasing anything that happened before this moment or anything we have to do after the service. We remain present and aware in this moment, conscious. As we breathe in and just allow ourselves to be in the flow of divine guidance. And I invite you to say, I open myself to divine guidance. I open myself to divine guidance. I open myself to divine guidance. Knowing whatever comes up is perfect for you, as you're always in the flow of divine guidance. We consciously connect and allow ourselves to be open and receptive. Knowing that there's only one, the divine, I open myself to this divine guidance. I open myself to this morning, to waking up as playful as can be. Meow, 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 meow. It's God, it's all God, it's all magnificent, and I am grateful, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Sue. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be an active, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Rev, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tracy. Meow, 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 meow to you too.
Oh, wow, thank you.
So I'm going to start, excuse me, I'm going to start right off the bat and let Jesse know you will not get a disagreement from me about silliness is a part of godliness. So yeah, you're not going to get a disagreement from me. I'm one of the silliest people. Never mind, I'm going to leave that alone.
It's CSL.
Hey. So today we're talking about this, excuse me. I was laughing at Tracy and
You need some water?
I might. So today we're talking about this idea of, so every time I see this word, I think it says sparkling. Sparking imagination. By evoking curiosity and imagination, we intuit new ways of being. And as we integrate the new vision, we develop new practices that energize and expand our divine presence in the world. So we're going to pick on a couple of these words. Curiosity, imagination, and this intuition thing. But specifically for right now, Tracy's handing me a tiny little cup. Cheers, everyone. Okay, so curiosity. How many of us would say that we are curious people? Are you a curious person? When curiosity means a strong desire to know or learn something. You know, it's often said, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, one, I'd like to know what classifies an old dog. I'm 55 and I ain't nowhere near considering myself old. Tracy is older than me, not really, but I say she is. And never mind, we're not gonna talk about Tracy right now. Do you mislabel being nosy with curious? Because oftentimes we'll say something, I'm just being curious. No, you're being nosy. See, curiosity, keep in mind, a strong desire to know or learn something, which means curiosity builds us up. Curiosity makes us step into more and more ways of being what we are as the universe itself. Being nosy is just, I want to gossip. I want the latest news, the information about what the Kardashians are doing. Knowing about what the Kardashians are doing is not going to make my life any more divine, any more fun, or any more effective. That's just me being nosy. Do you avoid being curious? You know, once again, a strong desire to know or learn something. Do you avoid learning something? Do you avoid learning something? Do you avoid giving yourself the opportunity to learn something new, to dive deeper into your own interests, your passions? Well, you know, I'm probably too old to take a class, or, you know, I don't something workshop, or whatever. And so we stay on this very nice, even, calm, placid state of just skating by, rather than encouraging ourselves to become even greater. Not greater as in, I'm better than, but greater in terms of what we say the universe is, what God is, what spirit is ever expanding consciousness. When we give ourselves the opportunity to learn something new, what do we say? Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. I learned something new today. We are expanding into that greater level and greater awareness of and greater ways of being in the world. But we have to give ourselves permission to do so. So, curiosity. Well, what do you want to know? What do you want to learn? Everybody has something, or you wouldn't be here. Now, if you're telling yourself, nah, there's nothing I want to learn. Yeah, I know everything I need to. Delusion. Tracy said it's delusion. That's her. Come on, Reverend Tracy Rhymes. So identify what is something you are passionate about. Learning doesn't necessarily mean you have to take a class in it. It might be read a book, watch a video. Learning may be self-exploration. Orville and Wilbur didn't take a class in how to build a plane. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't take a class in civil rights and critical race theory. Mahatma Gandhi didn't take a class in peaceful resistance. Nelson Mandela didn't take a class in, right? They didn't take classes. They wrote the classes. They lived the curriculum. But what is something you want to know? They wanted to know this. What is something you want to know? Einstein says, I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. I am only passionately curious. There is something within me that wants to learn, wants to know, wants to grow and expand. And yet, once again, there is that thing, that tendency sometimes that creeps in and says, well, I don't want to be like Curious George because that monkey's always getting into trouble. And I definitely don't want curiosity killed the cat. I have no idea how that cat got into the piñata or in the tissue, but I have no idea. And we say, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back. He was resurrected because of satisfaction. But stepping into this playful nature of curiosity, playfulness, silliness doesn't have to be something we dread. It shouldn't be something we dread. This whole idea, curiosity killed the cat, is how the status quo keeps us from being curious, keeps us from being extraordinary, keeps us from being divine. Break out of this paradigm of same old, blah, blah, blah. I'm good where I am. There's a difference between being satisfied, being comfortable, and not working to Kaizen, the Japanese concept of Kaizen. There is the opportunity for constant and ever going improvement upon oneself. Status quo doesn't want us to do that. They want us to be nice little, neat little, follow the pattern kinds of people. They don't want us to be the next Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, etc. They don't want us to be Toni Morrison, Oprah Winfrey. They don't want us to be Audre Lorde. They don't want that. They don't want that. So our invitation is to be that exact thing. Be that for yourself. Be that for ourselves. Lewis Carroll says in Alice in Wonderland, Alice laughed. There's no use in trying, she said. One can't believe impossible things. I dare say you haven't had much practice, said the Queen. When I was your age, I always did it for half an hour a day. Why, sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. How many impossible things are you willing to believe on any given day before your first cup of coffee or tea? Before you step outside of the house? What impossible things are you willing to entertain? Oprah Winfrey said, you have to find what sparks a light in you. Passion, bliss, so that you, in your own way, can illuminate the world. So Sue's meditation today was about that light that is ancient, that is beyond time and space, that is right here where we are, ever shining in, through, and as us. Are you willing to find what sparks, what encourages you to let that light shine in your own way so that the world may be illumined? Because sometimes we back away in fear. We don't want to let our light shine. We don't want to be silly, because the silly people are going to look at me like I'm strange. People are going to ostracize me. They're going to abandon me. To that I say, meow, 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 woof, woof. I would translate that, but in comic book language, it's hashtag, exclamation point, ampersand, meow, 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 woof, woof. Tracy's laughing at me again. You do this almost every Sunday. You're laughing at me. Imagination is endless. This concept of being in Disneyland, Disney World, this concept of being an Imagineer, someone who engineers imagination, someone who allows their imagination to inspire, to move, to grow within them, and then they craft it, they tweak it, they move it, so that what they are imagining becomes part of not just their internal reality, but their external reality as well. What are we willing to Imagineer into existence? What are we willing to allow ourselves to think, feel, speak, and act from our imagination? Stan Lee Imagineered Spider-Man. 2 young Jewish boys imagineered Superman. Kal-El. Disney imagineered Disney. Right? What is yours to imagineer? What is your calling that your imagination wants to birth through you, in you, and as you? Science of Mind says, creation is the play of life upon itself through divine self-imagination. Because what do we say? There is only one power, one presence, whatever we're calling it, God, spirit, source, life itself, the universe, source, whatever we're calling it. That is, creation itself is playing, it is living, it is moving, it is being and breathing itself upon itself, in itself, as itself. And it is doing this through this thing called divine self-imagination. It is imagining creation. And because it imagines this, that which it thinks, that which it quote unquote speaks, that which it is being must come into being, must be made manifest. Back to Einstein. If I had a nice fuzzy white wig, I'd wear it.
You do.
Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. Bum, bum, ba-da. Right? Knowledge will only get you so far. Because what we say we know, well, we know that man can't fly. Ain't no such thing. If God wanted us to fly, God would have given us wings. Ain't nobody trying to be like Icarus and fly up into the sun and melt and then fall into the water. Imagination says, boy, go sit down and hush, because I'm getting ready to create a plane and a spaceship and the Jetsons and a whole bunch of other stuff to boldly go where no one has gone before, USS Enterprise. We can fly once we imagine it, right? What are we willing to imagine beyond just the plain nuts and bolts of knowledge? Neville Goddard said, imagination and faith are the secrets of creation. But how often do we let the brick wall of reality, the brick wall of culture and society, the brick wall of our own fears block us from that very thing of imagination and faith? We let that obstacle hold us back and impede us from progress. We let our fears hold us back. We let culture and society hold us back. We let the naysayers hold us back. We let whatever that is hold us back from truly dreaming. To dream the impossible dream. We let that brick wall say, no, turn that volume down. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. To dream the no. Hush up. Science of Mind says, the creative power responds to feeling more quickly than to any other mental attitude. See, we can think a thing and just think it. You know, Tracy, I think I'm going to exercise today. And Tracy watches me sit on the couch, putting a donut in my mouth, and then another donut in my mouth, to which she says, hey, Rev, I thought you was going for a walk today. Well, I'm thinking about it. For as long as it's a thought and I'm not feeling the motivation to go, then it's not going to get done. Yesterday, Tracy and I, first time ever, we had this opportunity to go to Comic-Con in Dover, Delaware, and we were like, like when we first heard, like, COVID, it was just a thought. Then we're like, look, dude, look, this is an opportunity to dress up. The feeling of the opportunity to go out and hang out with new friends and new family, and the feeling inspired the action, which means the brick wall of don't go. People are going to laugh at you. Don't go to COVID. Don't go. The brick wall of that was like, yeah, no, we ain't playing the brick wall of. And so any moment we have the opportunity to do the same thing and say, I see beyond the brick wall. I see what is possible beyond it. So when the brick wall shows up, I see how to knock it down, how to push through it, how to transcend it so it is immaterial. Whatever the fear is, whatever the anxiety is. Now, I'm not talking about throwing all caution to the wind and just running outside butterball naked into COVID. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about be safe, be precautious, but don't let the fear and the precautions cause us to become stagnant and frozen in fear, because then we are imprisoned by our fears. Science of Mind also says, imagination carries with it feeling and conviction, which means life and action. You probably heard me mention this before, because there's this phrase that goes around in our teaching that says, if someone were to take you to court and try you based upon your faith in this teaching, would they have enough evidence to convict you? How convicted are we to recognize our extraordinary nature, our divine magnificence, and to live from that? Because feeling and conviction means life and action. Somewhere, some way, shape, or form, this should be showing itself, demonstrating itself. If it's not evident, if it's not visible, then we're not convicted. It must show up. Faith is action. God is a verb. How are we letting it show up in, through, and as us moment by moment, rather than denying it the opportunity? When are we saying, yeah, no, old dog, new tricks, no, silly, no, status quo, yes, fit in, yes, model myself after everyone who's ever done anything that's ever, yes. Yay. That's not life. That's existing, but it's not living. It's not thriving. Carpe diem. We are here to thrive and seize the day. John Keats said, I am certain of nothing but the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of the imagination. The holiness of the heart's affections, the holiness of our feelings, and the truth of the imagination. See, we often sidestep imagination like it's just something that kids do, but we imagine things that we are worried about. That's imagination. Well, but Tracy, what if? That's using my imagination for something that is life denying. What if? Blah, 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 blah. I'm using my imagination. It's not happening right now, but I am creatively imagining but what if it does? What if it does happen, Tracy? What if it does? That's imagination. And the truth of imagination, self-fulfilling prophecy, like it's that kind of name and game. What am I willing to shift within me so that I am a powerful steward of my imagination? In the same way that Ai Weiwei says, imagine one day the hateful world around you collapses, and it is your attitude, your words, and your actions that put an end to it. Will you be excited? Will you? Because it is. All of this stuff that we are talking about, yes, there is the individual, but there is only one power, only one presence called by many names, and it is showing up in, through, and as every one of us. So what I do impacts the collective. What Tracy does impacts the collective. What any one of us does impacts the collective. Am I going to be excited because my attitude, my words, and my actions are putting an end to this hateful, fear-filled, etc. world? Am I going to be excited? I'm excited right now. I'm not going to be. I'm excited right now because I know it is happening in the present. There is no blah, blah, blah. It's happening now. As my consciousness anchors and grounds and I live and walk the walk now, then it is changing and transforming all of creation. So yes, as Tracy says, oh, doing another acronym. Yes, Tracy, doing another acronym. Let us imagine. Let us have inspired ideas, ideas that are different from the same old thoughts we've had before. If an inspired idea, Jessie singing the music that she sings, means that somewhere that which is the divine showing itself as her had this inspired idea for a melody and for lyrics. When Tracy is taking photographs yesterday at the Comic-Con, there is an inspired idea when she sees, oh, that person would be click, click. Oh, that's a click, click. There is the inspired idea, which means something other than what has been. Mens agitat molem, Latin for mind moves matter, often translated as mind over matter. Mind moves matter because there is no matter separate from mind. As the Kabbalion says, all is mind. This is a mental universe. So what we think about, how we use our mental, which is our entire being, not just our thoughts, but our thinking, our feeling, our speaking, our action moves creation, moves matter. It moves life. It changes the experience. Alignment, as you've heard me say before, we're always in alignment. Question is, what are we in alignment with? Am I in alignment with, young lady, you're too old to be silly, act your age? Am I in alignment with that? Or am I in alignment with allowing myself the freedom to meow, to let my joy and happiness? I'm in alignment with something all the time. What are we in alignment with? And how do we get into alignment with what we desire to be in alignment with? Give. Life is not about accumulating, it is about giving. Renuka and Dedra are giving their skills, their time, their talent through interpreting to make the service accessible. Tracy gives of her time, talent, work ethic, work. Give. Jessie gives. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, and she can correct me when she comes back on, if you go to her website, one of the first things you see is she is offering to give you a free song. Give. We are here to give. Trees give. Grass gives. The sky gives. That which spirit is gives to itself, through itself, by itself, back unto itself. What are we willing to give? Not take, not take, not take. Because if we take and we take and we take and we don't replenish, then the garden is dead. The harvest is none. For what I take, I must give back to the ground. For every sweet potato I pull, I must replant so that it is an ongoing. What am I willing to give? What are you willing to give to the world? Another way of saying that is, how are you investing? Investing in yourself, investing in your community, investing in your loved ones, investing in your friends, investing in your craft, your skill set. Like I said, Tracy, as a photographer, is she willing to invest by taking a class, by picking up the camera and exploring? Yes, because if you don't invest, and then it's like, hey, Rev, what is this? It's a camera, Tracy. Oh, what do they do? It takes pictures. Oh, that's cool. How does it do that? You push the buttons. What button? There's a whole bunch of buttons on it, right? You have, she's laughing at me right now. But you have to invest in learning which buttons do what, which turn does what. You have to be willing to invest. A lot of us have been taught to put ourselves last, to take care of ourselves last, put everybody else first, put everything else first, deplete ourselves. No. Being a spiritual being is about taking care of yourself so that you are giving from your overflow, not from a half-empty cup, not from a good to the last drop Maxwell House cup. No. I ain't letting my cup get to the last drop, hun. I'm going to always pour back into the cup so it is from its overflow. I'm drinking from my saucer. Now, be present. Reverend Ike has said, and I'm paraphrasing, something to the effect of, oh, I've heard of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I've heard of those days. I've never heard of some day, right? I've never heard of someday. Someday I'll invest in me. Wait. When is this someday? It's someday. Well, someday is ain't never gonna happen day. If you're gonna have a goal, part of having a goal means establishing a when. When am I going to do the work? When am I going to? And being present in the now, knowing that this moment right now unfolds into the next now moment and the next now moment. But we put the by and by somewhere down it'll happen somewhere down the road. Eventually when the kids grow up, then I'll be happy. Then, then I can retire and then I'll finally have the freedom to take care of me, to live happy after. What? If you ain't living happily ever after now, happily ever before, I don't know. If you ain't living happily now, then the someday when whoever graduates, moves, does whatever job is, retire, whatever, you're not going to be happy then because there's only now. And lastly, experience and expression. How are we bringing this into fruition? How are we living this path? How are we living this? How is it showing up as an expression in our everyday lives? Because once again, if there's no evidence, what's his name? Yeshua, Jesus. What did Jesus say? Look at the tree. The tree will be known by the fruit that it bears. Oh, that tree ain't got diddly squat on it. It ain't bearing fruit. Then what use is it? And it's gone. Right? So what fruit, what expression, what life are we living? Because we are known by the fruit that we bear. We are known by the experience that we live. We are known by how we are a living, moving, breathing expression of this extraordinary, magnificent thing that we call life. There is only one life, and that life is beautiful beyond measure. It is gorgeous. It is delicious. It is powerful. And that life is your life right now. George Bernard Shaw said, "There are those that look at things the way they are and ask, why? Why is this and why is that? I dream of things that never were and ask, why not?" Right? So let's follow that into the next slide by some guy y'all know who says, "There is only one way to end such things as war, famine, poverty, and the vastness of the planet's systemic ills and diseases. We achieve the seemingly impossible by first believing that it is possible. Then we make space in our lives for the manifestation of it." So rather than saying, "But Reverend Ray, war, getting rid of war, that's impossible," I'd rather say, "But I manifest the possible." But Reverend Ray, racism, sexism, homophobia, they will never, it's impossible. I manifest the possible. That which is infinite possibility, called by many names, God, Spirit, Source, the Force, the universe itself. That which it is infinite potentiality. And what it is, each one of us is in the flesh. Each one of us is that exact power. For those of you who may not be Star Wars fans, what did Yoda say? "For my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is. For my ally is the universe itself. For what it is, I am. It is moving in me, flowing through me, is showing up as me. There is no separation between what it is and what I am. There is only it. The Word made flesh, living itself as me, as you. Are you someone who says, I manifest the possible, or is your mantra, but that's impossible? That will never be. That's never going to happen. We will always have racism. We will always have sexism. We will always have homophobia and xenophobia. We will always have. Is that truth? Is that the truth you want to declare? Or are you willing to say, I'm willing to dream a thing that currently is not, and dream it so powerfully that it becomes manifested fact? I manifest the possible. this week's homework, should you choose to accept. It's not homework, Tracy. It's just exercises. It's practice.
This week's spiritual practice.
This week's spiritual practice.
If you choose to practice it.
If you choose to practice it, that's what Tracy said. In what ways have you tended to put your imagination to use? How have you tended in your life? Do you use your imagination to play and have fun? Or do you use your imagination to worry and doubt? What practice will you commit to this week to nurture a healthy and more life-affirming use of your imagination? Will you doodle? Will you sing? Will you dance? Will you bake? Will you garden? Like, there are billions and trillions and zillions of possible things, but what practice will you commit to? What are some things, subjects, topics that you find fascinating and are curious about? Just identify that. Just identify it. You don't have to do anything about it yet, but identify what are you passionate about? And then lastly, what will you commit to this week to nurture your childlike curiosity? It's not the last thing, sorry. What will you commit? What will you commit to this week to nurture your childlike curiosity with freedom and abandon? And then lastly, for real, the last one, because it's always about having a conversation with folks, have a conversation with two people about the acronym, the Imagine acronym, and what each letter sparks within you, stirs within you, stimulates within your heart, your mind, and your body. Just explore that. And this week's declaration, affirmation, if you feel so aligned with it, I will say it first and then together. My imagination grows my consciousness and expands my life now. Together, my imagination grows my consciousness and expands my life now. We let that resonate and reverberate through every cell of our being because check this out. Jesse is about to do the same thing, to grow our consciousness and expand our lives with this amazingly beautiful presence that she is. Not just her music. Music is great and awesome and fantastic, but when you put her and the music together, ha, meow, 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 meow. So put your hands together and open your hearts for Jessie. Love you, Jessie.
I love you too, Reverend Ray. That was amazing. Oh, thank you for reminding us to play. And I'm going to speak a little bit to what you were saying about how you can use your imagination for some crazy things, and you can start believing stuff that really just isn't true. And even through all of that, there's this one love, higher power that's always saying, you know what, I love you anyway, you crazy being. What are you thinking, that you're not good enough? You're insane. So here we go. This is about that. It's called Bucket. Sometimes I get a glimpse of what happens in your head, and I gotta say that it sounds so ridiculous. It makes me wonder if you understand how blessed I've been feeling being with you. 'Cause you got this way of carrying the light, just like a prism giving rainbows to people passing by, projecting technicolor dreams before my eyes. You just radiated, ain't it beautiful? And you got me so good that you could go and break my heart in two, and I would probably smile in awe of all of the beautiful ways that you do you. So baby, better get used to it, 'cause my love ain't going nowhere. And you know it starts as a spark, now my heart won't quit. My love ain't going nowhere. And you know your cup's too small and it all won't fit. My love ain't going nowhere. Better go to Home Depot, get a whole bucket, 'cause my love ain't going nowhere. Do 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 I love to witness you in all your humanness, 'cause I get to see the things in me that you reflect. And it gets me reeling, get this feeling in my chest. I'm in love, baby, with every little piece of you. And you got me so good that you could go and leave me in the dust. And I'd be delighted to find there was more of you I get to love. So baby, you better get used to it, 'cause my love ain't going nowhere. And you know it starts as a spark, now my heart won't quit. My love ain't going nowhere. Oh, you see your cup's too small and it all won't fit. My love ain't going nowhere. Better go to Home Depot, get a whole bucket, 'cause my love ain't going nowhere. Gonna use my imagination for my own good, for my own good, for my own good. I said, baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me praying, craving, waiting years for a love like you. So baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me praying, craving, waiting years for a love like you. So baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me craving, praying, waiting years for a love like you. So baby, stop playing like you ain't amazing, blazing with beauty and truth. Somebody heard me praying, craving, waiting years for a love like you. 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 Waiting years for a love like you.
Yeah, I should have saw me. I was over there jamming. I was over there. Tracy was laughing at me, as Tracy does. Thank you so very much, Jesse. That was beautiful. It was fun. It was truthful. It was genuine. It was authentic, and it was heartfelt. Thank you. So we breathe and we take in everything that service has meant thus far. We breathe and we allow this energy to resonate and fill us up. Like Jesse said, you know, don't have that little tiny cup. That little tiny cup didn't help. Little tiny cup ain't gonna hold very much of anything. It's time to go get a bucket. Matter of fact, don't need to get a tub. Get a whole container, so that it may overflow from all of the joyfulness and beauty and power that we are right here and right now. So this time of service, Tracy likes to remind us that through our tithes, our donations, our offerings, we are doing what it means to keep this beloved spiritual community functioning effectively. We are keeping the lights on. We are manifesting the right and perfect space as our new location. We are creating and painting and building and reaching out into the community in amazing and powerful ways with classes and workshops and all kinds of offerings to people in the greater Baltimore area and beyond, the entire East Coast and beyond, all of the United States and beyond, all of the Americas and beyond, all of the planet and every level of the multiverse and beyond. Now, you may be wondering, so what exactly does this mean? Well, we'll get to that in a second. First, let us recognize that the practitioners of this beloved spiritual community, in addition to their regularly scheduled tithes, have pledged $25,000 by the end of the year. And as of August 8th, the number is $10,850. The community's matching pledge of $25,000 as of July 26th is $1,225. Now, to answer your question, Reverend Ray, how do I offer? How do I tithe? How do I sow seeds into this beloved spiritual community? You may do so through PayPal, through text to give, or through the postal mail service. If you ever have questions about anything regarding the dividing of, so for example, you may take a certain portion of your tithe and give to the new building fund, or the youth ministry, or music, or whatever. You can divide and, right? You may want questions about that. You may have questions about that. You may want answers. Feel free to go to the website. Feel free to reach out to any of the board of trustees. Feel free to inquire. We are here to serve. This is your community. We are here to serve you. We are here to help you in whatever ways that we can to recognize and understand the divine magnificence, the spiritual magnificence that you are. So we are here to serve that function. Now, recognizing that you are a spiritual, divine, powerful, beautiful, radiant being, then this declaration of financial wealth and abundance is actually a declaration of wealth and abundance in all areas of your life, health and well-being, relationships, your spirit, like all areas of your life. This is a declaration of that wealth and abundance. Together, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing, not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. Ashe, aho, so mote it be. Be awesome today. Be your most playful, imaginative, silly, meow, 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 like person today. Go out and be that. Let your inner seal, right? Let that jolt out. Let it out, that the whole world might see. And in seeing how awesome you are, they are invited to see and be their own awesome selves. Now, today after service, if you want prayer with our practitioner on duty, Sue Monaghan, the amazing, then type prayer in the chat box and Tracy will put you in a breakout room with Sue so Sue may know and declare the truth of your being. Now, if you are here, because today is annual board meeting day, if you so choose, you may also stay for the annual meeting. You get updates about everything that the community is doing, so you get to know what's going on. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. It's an update about all that is going on, so feel free to stay on after that. If you are going into prayer and you also want to be at the meeting, type both so Tracy knows to let our board chair know there are people still in prayer. So once that's right, just so we have a way of managing time. So if you want prayer, type prayer. If you're staying for both and you're getting prayer, type both. Other than that, Tracy is getting ready to unlock the communication methodologies of, she's getting ready to open the chat so everybody can love up on each other, so you can tell Jessie how amazing she is, so you can thank everybody, thank Sue, thank Jessie, thank Sue, thank Jessie, thank Tracy, thank Jim, thank everybody for being, thank everybody, thank Reverend Ray if you want, thank everybody for being exactly who you are as the divine demonstration and manifestation of love. Each and every one of us is that power and that presence, light, that power and that presence, love, that power and that presence that is a gift to each other. That is how God, how spirit, how source is giving and gifting and sharing through itself, to itself, about itself, back unto itself, because it's all goodness, it's all deliciousness, it's all awesome and amazing. And recognizing that exactly what it is we allow this service to come to a close, but knowing that who and what we are as service made flesh continues throughout the rest of this amazing, beautiful, imaginative, playful, and silly day. We allow this to be the truth as we surrendered into the law, knowing the law receives it and says, yes, that means this benediction, this prayer, this service was and is a prayer. Today, wow, I got ready to jump in. Knowing that this service, this prayer, every song, every interpreted motion, every aspect of this is answered prayer. That what we said about removing the hate-filled world and removing racism and sex. Like, this is that prayer answered. So we allow it to be. We allow Spirit to do what Spirit does, and then we are convicted to do what is ours to do. That is so, it is done, and together we say, and so it is. Much love.